Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today I'm going to show you how to make a classic peanut brittle. Peanut brittle is super common here in the United States during the holidays. It's pretty easy to make. If I can do it, you can do it. Before I move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get started. Down below in the description box, you'll find a list of the ingredients and their amounts. First, I want to talk about the peanuts. Typically, you'd use like a raw peanut. Sometimes it's hard to find raw peanuts at the grocery store. So you can use dry roasted peanuts. I'm using dry roasted peanuts. If you're using raw peanuts, you're going to add them at the beginning. The dry roasted peanuts, we're going to add them near the end. Just keep that in mind. And so I have a heavy bottom pot here, and I'm going to add in 1 cup of white granulated sugar, and then 1/4 cup of water, then 1/2 cup of corn syrup. And now the other ingredients that I have measured out is I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of butter, and just shy of a teaspoon of baking soda. You want to have them all measured out and ready to go. And again, I have 1 cup of dry roasted peanuts, or you can use raw peanuts. If you're going to use raw peanuts, add the raw peanuts right now to the pot. And I have a large sheet pan here, and I just buttered it. You can spray it with cooking spray, or you can also lay down parchment paper. Now, let's go over to the stovetop. Over here at the stovetop burner, and I have my heat set to medium. I'm also going to add in the salt at this time, and then we are going to heat this up. You need to use a thermometer. My candy thermometer is really old, so I threw that out, and I have not bought a new candy thermometer. So I'm using my meat thermometer. That'll work fine. But candy thermometers are ideal because you can just stick it right to your pot and keep it above the bottom, and it just stays there the whole time. But we really need to use a thermometer to get it to the correct temperature. But first of all, we're just going to let this heat up for several minutes. The whole process here on the stovetop is going to be about 20 minutes or so. And the first stage is just heating it up until we get it to about 250 Fahrenheit, 245, 250 Fahrenheit, and then we can add in the dry roasted peanuts. But as I mentioned earlier, if you are using raw peanuts, you'd add them in right now. I also have a basting brush. So if there's any crystals that develop sugar crystals that develop on the sides of the walls, we can dip this in a little bit of warm water and we can brush down those walls. At this particular stage, you don't have to constantly stir. We can just come in and stir occasionally. All right, it has started to boil. Again, just come in here and we'll give it a stir. I'm gonna check the temp. It's right around 230. We'll let it go a few more minutes, and then we will add the peanuts. We're right around 250, 251. We'll check a different spot. Great, so once we get to around 250, give or take a few degrees, add in the 1 cup of dry roasted peanuts. And from this point on, we're going to constantly stir this mixture so it doesn't burn. And we're going to constantly stir until we get to the hard crack stage, which is right around 300 Fahrenheit. If you don't have a silicone spatula like I am using, use a wooden spoon. But don't use a metal spoon because it'll heat up and burn your hands. And now this is going to take about 5 to 8 minutes to get this heated up to 300. Also be very careful when you are making this because this mixture is extremely, extremely hot. All right, right when we get up to temperature, you can turn off the heat. And I'm going to kind of take this off the burner here and just scoot this over. I'm going to add in the vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. It's going to boil up on you. Add in the butter. That's 1 tablespoon of butter. We'll let that melt down. Keep stirring really fast. And then add in the baking soda really quick. And it's gonna change the color of it, and it might foam up on you probably a little bit. Okay, and now we want to pour it over onto the pan. And you want to work fairly quickly here. Okay, and then when we have the brittle there, you can come in here with some forks and we'll just kind of spread it out a little bit just to kind of get it a little thinner. This is just a common technique that people do. The thinner it is, the more of a brittle it'll be. And also it gives you an opportunity to kind of spread out those and even out any of those peanuts too, if you want. And now, just let this cool completely, and then we can break it up. And to clean your pot, add really hot water to it, and that will dissolve it and clean it up really nicely. Once the peanut brittle has cooled, we can come in here and break it up. And I'll just take like a cake spatula and just go underneath it. It just makes it really easy. If you did it on a piece of parchment paper, then you can just kind of fold in the edges and it'll break it up. And then come in here with clean hands, and we'll just start breaking this up. And you can hear how it breaks and how it's brittle. And just break it up into smaller pieces that are serving sizes. Well, there you go. That is how you make homemade classic peanut brittle. To store it, just put it in an airtight container at room temperature, and it'll last somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down in the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into this. So yeah, I'm gonna grab this piece right here. Yummy. Mmm.